Welcome to the Camel Expedition.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Kim Sleezar, and you're tuned into the Camel Expedition. So, guys, today I'll just be giving you an exhaustive information in regards to how I personally joined the Forex market and generally the progress I've made so far within it, and really exhaustive information in regards to what the Forex market really entails. So guys, how I started Forex trading was I actually started with binary options, right? I didn't really start just with Forex throughout like that. I started with binary options. I was trading binary options for quite a while. And because of the progress that I made into Forex, I thought in my mind that I was for sure going to make a lot of profits when I did join Forex because I only learned about Forex after I'd known about binary options. But I basically started with binary options was um, quite progressive, if I may say, because I made I didn't even know what $100 at the time was because back in 2017 there wasn't so much cloud about the forex markets and everything. And then I remember how I started with it was I started um, with about $10. I think I deposited about $10 because I actually started with my cousin. He introduced me to it. Yeah, and going on to who introduced me to that, he's basically the one who introduced me to the forex market. So we basically, in fact, we started with binary options first, right? I made a bit of progress into it, and how I used to do it was I remember I'd make like say $2 a day, right? $2 today. And the following day, I raised it with about $2 the following day, and I made my first $100 within a really short space of time. And that's when I actually realized that wow, this actually really works, right? And at the time, that was binary. I haven't even had a glimpse of what forex was at the time, right? And I think what really hooked me to it was when I made my first withdrawal, right? I think, and it wasn't really that much because I deposited I think $10 at that time. It was about 150. It wasn't really that much, to be honest. I think I deposited that about that much, and I traded it, and then I withdrew that initial amount, which was that 150. And I remember the thrill of it, just feel like wow, this is real. Like I actually withdrew money that I deposited, and I still had money in the account to trade.
Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? What? Say
And I grew that money to 100 USD. And I like at the time I felt like because I was still back in high school, really, so and it was like that thrill. That thrill was just something, if I may say. So um, that's basically how I'm stepped into the forex markets. I think I started forex back in I think say 2018 because mid or late 2017, that's basically when or mid 2017, basically when I started binary options. And I traded it for a couple of months because I didn't really trade it for that long until the following year, which um, I was done with school the following year, I remember. And it was more or less a struggle of being concerned about school, what's going to happen, what were you going to study, and whatnot. And when I joined the forex market, I kind of really got hooked to it that I spent a lot of time focusing on it than I should have. So I've basically been in forex in the forex market for about a few years now. Yes, say 18, 19, 20, 5 years, plus or minus the amount of years. And the first few years of it, I must say, was not so easy because it had a few challenges to it. and that would start with the support that you get from. I think that really contributes a lot. The amount of support that you get sometimes is the energy, basically, you're subjected to on a daily basis. Sometimes it's positive energy, sometimes it's negative energy, and being around a confusing or overwhelming energy when you're doing something as complex as the forex market could be really challenging, because on its own it's a risky career to venture into. And I think when one joins it, I think it really needs one who has backbone, like you really need to be.
Findo bo baqina ndo. Spirit.
Because sometimes you're going to have to be your own cheerleader. No one is going to cheer you on. But one thing I will say is a lot of us got into got into forex with the mentality of get rich quick scheme. Guys. But then get rich quick scheme, and then it was that easy fix for a lot of us. Like how I must say, binary options was that it really was just fast cash. But when I got into the forex markets, because I got into it with the same mentality, I then understood that it's not that, right? Because I got into it with that fast cash boys. But hey, you're the forex markets. But anyway, so what I've basically learned within the forex markets, if I may say, is that it is not what we have been made to believe that it is, right? Because now, when you go back into the history of forex, it entails a lot more than than what we'd actually been exposed to as to what the forex market entails. Because when you actually go through it, about 500 years ago, when the forex market was actually established, it was established because of the World War, right? And basically, countries, decided to join in and form sort of like a Pangea in terms of economic upliftment. And obviously, nothing as significant as that is going to be easy to crack. I mean, it does state, right, when you read about the information. I'll show maybe a few screenshots in terms of it. I mean, detailed in screenshots in terms of that. It does show that 95% of people who actually do forex flunk totally. So only 5% is successful in terms of forex. So you can imagine a whole 5% balances the whole 95%. That should actually get you wondering what really is happening in terms of the forex markets. Because a lot of us think it's gambling, but when you actually think into pure mathematics into it, you realize that there's rule-based systems that were sort of created, and algorithms that were really created within the forex markets to make it as such, because nothing that entails basically the foundation of the whole world's economy is going to be easy to just crack, because obviously we would have a really weak economy globally, actually. So I think that's more or less part of the things that I learned in terms of the forex markets. And what really kept me in terms of the trading world, I think, was so more or less the profits that I got to make, right? Not much. Right? That's something I'm not really gonna get into, because I don't feel like one should get into that when you are actually wanting to learn something. It's like when you go into school for a course, but you're obviously not going to earn before you finish the course and you get a job and then you actually start earning. That's how the process goes. And I think if a lot of us actually accustomed rather ourselves to that mentality, we'd actually gain a lot of success in it, right? And I think what kept me in it was the amount of consistency I had um, in a specific period of time. but it wasn't really that I think what you'd call consistency, but it was more or less excuse me, it was more or less bad times, good times, bad times, because sometimes it could be really unpredictable in terms of volatility and a lot of manipulations that happens within the forex markets, and that is actually more of what this channel will entail, right? Because the basis of this channel, I think, was to basically grab a lot of the progress in our journeys, or rather in my journey personally, track my progress that I've made within the forex markets when I started, where I am right now, and where I'm heading within it. Because I think there's a lot of motivation in the forex markets in terms of the successful rather traders that we have, but not a lot of them actually show a point where they started, they track and then track that progress and show you actually the realistic part of, a lot of them just, appear. It's like, I don't know where, just boom, a lot of them. And I felt like I really needed someone to rather motivate me in terms of the like tracking the progress in terms of the forex market, and actually showing, okay, this is how realistic it is. This is sometimes good days, bad days, sometimes a streak of bad days, sometimes a streak of good days, and how you actually get into the consistency part of it, where you're now actually consistent in terms of it. But I'm noting that there are losses within the consistency, right? Like the yin yang, there's good in every bad and bad in every good, like that. So basically, in every good that you make, there'd at least be glimpses of that bad. Because even, like, think about, we're surrounded by light, right? But every time you blink, that split second that you blink, that's like, it gets dark. It's dark. So there's that little bit of darkness inside this, plethora of light that we're subjected to. It's just basically what I'm trying to say, and that's basically what I guess hooked me into the forex markets. And I think more or less everything um, is significant, but what's most significant in it is keeping in mind the psychology in terms of the forex market, because it's created behind an entire algorithm that is meant for majority of people who do it to not, do good in it. Obviously not good in it. That's how they make money from us. I think it's mostly just being informed into basically asserting ourselves with focusing on 90% of the work and not 10% of the work. Because I think most of the time we focus on the skill part of forex and not the psychology part, which is funny because the psychology part takes up 90% of what forex is, and the skill part takes up 90. I mean the skill part takes up 10%. And the funny thing is that we project 90% of our focus on 10% of the skill. I mean, think about it. It doesn't make sense, because we should actually be projecting 90% of our attention to, 90% of what actually forex entails, which is 90%, which is the psychology, and then 10% to the skill. Because the skill is significant, yes, but sometimes it is not enough to get you through a whole trading day with manipulations, news forecast fundamentals, rather, as you might call it, and and a lot more that happens within the forex markets every day. So basically, that's basically what this video for today entails, guys. And for me and my team, guys, the marathon continues. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share.